Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment.
Hello, my name is Mike, and today's show is brought to you by our Amazon page. Please remember to shop at MikeO'MaraShow.com/Amazon. It's quite simply the best way to support this show. If you need it, Amazon has it, and you can get it at MikeO'MaraShow.com/Amazon. Bookmark it, please.
Available on demand every day in iTunes and the Google Play Store, and around the world on MikeO'MaraShow.com. What more can we do for you? It's the Mike O'Mara Show.
One of those mornings when you have a 2-year-old. Mrs. O'Mara has, let's just say, had an interesting part of this month. And she's very tired, and she requires a little extra sleep because she's been running around with the child. This morning, no exception. You know, we have a babysitter tonight, so we're talking about it. And everybody has had this conversation.
Tonight? Will you partay?
I don't know. We don't party like we used to.
Yeah.
We don't party like a rock star.
Well, sometimes you stay up till 9.
That's true.
Sometimes 9:30. But here it is.
I really want to see who's guilty on Dateline.
So this morning, can I take you through my morning for just a second?
I would love it.
And I get up with her, and she's up earlier than I am because the little guy was apparently up at 5:45 this morning. It might have even been 4:45. It was ridiculously early.
I think that child needs a pep talk.
So the thing is, he's up, but I love him. He's the greatest, and he's fun, and it's and he has his moments. But she's exhausted. She was exhausted last night. I come down to the breakfast table. We have a babysitter, and we have a discussion that normally lasts 5 minutes. What do you want to do tonight? Oh, how about this? Yeah, that's a good idea. Instead, it turns into this 45-minute, and I realize we're so exhausted that we have the luxury and pleasure of having a babysitter, but we're just not motivated to do anything because the kid has gotten the best of us. So I'm a little down, okay?
Understood.
I'm a little discouraged. She goes, we put the baby down for his morning nap, and Mama goes off for the morning nap.
Right.
Then she comes out because I've got the Today Show blasting, which I do because I'm deaf, because I've had freaking headphones on. So she just, effing TV, and walks back to bed. And I sit there and I just kind of go,
Yeah, you're just trying.
Woe is me, sad, and I'm sad. I'm sad.
Great
Well,
is
you're
that
just trying to provide for the family, you know.
That's exactly right, Oscar. Just trying to provide for the family, right?
TV is blasting so you can hear it, yet she mutters, and you pick up every syllable.
I come upstairs, and I've got everything done, and I've got a little time to kill, so I hop on the computer, and I'm just bopping around, and I usually check in on the guys. Let me tell you, I give Robb Spiewak a really hard time, all the time. I do almost on a daily basis.
Yeah,
I give
sort of the basis of the show, Mike.
It's kind of it's one of the. I would say it's a cog in the wheel of the show.
I would call it bedrock, actually.
It's bedrock. Okay, you can call it what you want to call it.
Well,
but,
you do deserve it.
I understand.
he deserves every bit of it.
But
One
I
of the
mean,
things
in the show description, it says busting each other's balls. It's
Right.
not exclusive to me. I don't want you
Everybody gets
I
it.
don't want you to think that that's what I meant. I meant that busting everybody's balls in
Right.
the show. That's
I
what the
understand.
show's
We
about.
All right,
sorry.
All right, shut the hell up. All right, so anyway, I give Robb a hard time. But today, I go to Robb's Facebook page, and now, for purpose of example, ladies and gentlemen, this is why I love Robb Spiewak. This is on Robb's page.
Yeah,
This
it's the Three
is?
Sons.
What is this?
This is the end of a 35-year
Hold on,
search.
Robb, button it. This is mine. You
All
be
right,
quiet for a
all
second.
right.
This is from Robb Spiewak's page. Okay, this is going to sound silly to you, but it's a major victory for me. For over 35 years, yes, literally,
True.
I've been trying to get a copy of Captain Chesapeake's theme song from WBFF TV 45 in Baltimore. We had a great TV antenna, and we could pick it up in McLean. About 15 years ago, I found out it was still called Stumbling. Kind of what we call Robb's broadcast career. It was a Bob Crosby song from the 1920s. Oscar, I'm playing this in the background, but there's a video, and it's this guy playing the accordion in a gray suit, and he's just going, well, it's black and white, so they were all gray suits, and he's doing this little thing like this.
The look on my face is sheer disgust.
Listen to this. Now they have the Hammond B3 guys playing right now.
Well, 3 instruments, yeah.
Guitar, accordion, and organ.
It's beautiful.
And I start laughing. And I can't stop laughing. Robb has posted this. He goes on and on. This was the Bob Crosby song from the 1920s, but it was reintroduced to the world in the Broadway show Thoroughly Modern Millie.
True,
but
true.
even armed with the title, I couldn't find the right version. Even Shazam was useless.
True, Oscar.
Shazam.
I knew, and this is what he does now, because his brain's got this in there. Oh, by the way, they're going into another Autumn Leaves now, just in case you want to know. Thank you, Rob. I knew the Three Sons had the proper arrangement, but it was way too slow. But tonight I had a eureka moment.
I did.
A eureka.
Yes.
I took the slow version and digitally sped it up as if a record player had been switched from 33 to 45 p.m. I don't know what he's doing.
Well,
I'm just smiling. I don't know what he's into with this.
But
But
Pattersing it up. Hey, that's what
Yes.
he's doing.
guess what? It worked. I even matched it to the original theme on a YouTube clip of the captain. Of the captain.
Captain Mike.
I nailed it. Feels great to solve 35-year-old mysteries. That said, if you're still reading this, I'm sorry I've wasted your time.
Thank you.
But this is a big one in the win column for your old buddy Rob.
I was so excited, Mike. I really, really was.
So this is not what you sped up. This was
No, and actually, I'm glad you
do you
brought
have
it up.
what
I
you
do.
sped? Do you have the? Of course.
Now, first-
That's what you have.
Now, Captain Chesapeake has, he was a kid show host, not
Hours
unlike Captain
and
20.
hours
Sorry.
and hours of labor that will result in nothing positive for this show.
No,
just want to
pedophile,
point
right?
that out. Yeah.
Except this vignette. And
Except
so,
this vignette. Yes.
touche.
Yes.
But
Here,
if
here.
you turned on Captain Chesapeake, and he was on from like 1971 to 1990 or something, here was his theme song, and it was forever burned in my brain. Okay? And it would say, ahoy, crew members! And I'd say, well, I've got to be able to find this song.
Oh, by the way, this is Rob's brand new theme. We are retiring.
Oh, excellent.
We are retiring this one. We'll keep it for posterity, but I want that one. I want you to send that to me because that's going into the file.
So, and then I find the Three Sons version, and I play it, and I said, this is too slow. As a matter of fact, it drags. So, I said, but it sounds so close. So what I did is I did the math, and I figured out if I had that on a 33 RPM record and played it at 45, how long would it have to be?
A dumbass.
Stop it, because listen what happens.
What a dumbass.
When you speed it up, it's exactly right. And it's in sparkling high fidelity.
Why
That's the one I
can't you
want.
use these powers for good?
I am using them for good.
That is fantastic. You saved that. I want that as the close today, ladies and
You
gentlemen.
got it. You got it.
Crank it up. Let's listen to it a little bit. Ladies and gentlemen, hold on.
Yeah.
Start it from the beginning.
Yeah.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, here he is for your listening pleasure, your old buddy Rob. Come on in, Rob. Rob Spiewak. It's the Rob Spiewak Show, brought to you by the More Broadcasting Network.
Well,
Rob is here for you.
Since DC had Captain 20 and Baltimore had Captain Chesapeake, can I be Captain Rob?
Captain Rob.
Captain CAP''N.
Your old buddy, Captain Rob. Yes.
Three
And I
bells,
should,
time for the Munsters.
All right, start it from the beginning. Let me see if I can create some lyrics,
All
okay?
right, ready? In 3, 2, 1.
Here we go. I don't really care. I don't really care. I don't really care. My name is R-O-B-B, 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 Rob. I don't really care. I don't really care. Anyway, so that's kind of the thing. So the song, I've renamed the song.
Yes.
I don't really care.
I don't really care.
I don't really care because nothing affects him. Nothing from outside. Nothing. Now,
God
the only
bless
time it would have, if someone took a piece of military ordnance and it exploded in Rob's backyard.
Yes.
Like not inside, not the backyard, the inner backyard where his little fence is
Oh my
next
God,
to his
inside
tiny
the
house.
fence? That would be horrible.
Then it would affect you. Otherwise, it doesn't necessarily matter. That's the way it goes.
No fuss,
So-
no muss.
So remember, that is the theme. I don't really care. I don't really care. Fantastic, and I believe that you'll be hearing a lot of that. And well done on the mix.
Thank
Yeah,
you
yeah.
very
Incredible
much.
mix.
You
Yes,
guys are quite welcome.
Sounds
I'm
like the
glad-
original.
So glad to bring back a piece of childhood for all of
Absolutely.
us. And Mike, aren't we all just children?
Yeah,
Rather.
child.
Deep
We're,
down?
we're all childs, Rob.
Truly a
We're all
child.
childs, and not only are you, I don't really care, Rob, but your new nickname, which will, based on that fantastic mix that you laid down, we're going to call you dead, Rob.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show. You can listen to the Mike O'Mara Show at www.mikeomarashow.com.
Stay tuned for an outstanding entertainment program.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show.
Let's get down to business.
From the entertainment capital of the world.
But I can't believe it's been a quarter century since I made my television debut. It was all different back then. You know, it was back then, I remember if you wanted to take a picture, you would use a camera, not a telephone. As a matter of fact, if you used a telephone, people would look at you odd. What about in the old days when they took pictures of you way back, you know, where they pulled that thing and exploded and stuff? I got a picture of my great-grandfather. The thing took 6 hours taking your picture, and it was a picture of my great-grandfather, one. They only had, every guy had one picture back then. I gotta get back, feed them hogs. Who's gonna feed the hogs? Somebody gotta feed them hogs. Now, in the future, of course, it'll be different. 50 years from now, people will be going like, hey, you want to see 100,000 pictures of my great-grandfather?
It's the Mike O'Mara Show. Mike O'Mara, Rob Spiewak, Oscar Santana. And now, from his office chair, here's Mike.
Hey, happy weekend, everybody. Coming to you live from the Gabby Pfeiffer studio in the heart of rock country, our nation's capital, Washington, D.C. This is the Mike O'Mara Show, on the air and online worldwide. The Mike O'Mara Show is a daily radio show and podcast with the greatest listeners on the planet. You know why that is? I'll tell you why. Because they get it, people. That's right. They get it. They get the humor. They get what we do. And if you're here, ladies and gentlemen, you do too. So get ready for your Friday. Have a fabulous weekend, and make sure when you get out there, take that Confederate flag down off the back of your truck and go out and drink some Budweiser beer. Our show today is brought to you by Touch of Modern. Touch of Modern, everybody wants to stay ahead of the latest styles and trends, but it's tough trying to find the next big thing. Face it, it's hard to be cool. That's why you need touchofmodern.com. They have great stuff. I talk about my Trazer watch all the time with the incredible illumination. This is the Officer Pro. Fits into my squirrel lifestyle, ladies and gentlemen. I love that. But they have lots of other stuff besides watches. And even their watches are a wide variety. They got vintage watches. They got your used Rolexes and Breitlings. They've got brand new watch designs that are out there, and they change it up every day. Not to mention accessories for your cell phone. They've got that. They've also got home decor, fantastic, unique design items at touchofmodern.com. And they've got wonderful clothing for everybody. It's fantastic. We love the site. Always cool. Touch of Modern is your website for everything. New sales launching literally every single day. Literally. It's one website that elevates your lifestyle with a single click. Here's what I want you to do. Right now, our listeners can get immediate access when they sign up at touchofmodern.com. That's touchofmodern.com. Do it today, because tomorrow it'll be different. That's how life rolls in the fast lane. Touchofmodern.com. And welcome to the show. Whoa, whoa. We call this Mike O'Mara Take Two. Anyway, we're very happy.
What's the matter with you?
Happy to be. Just following the Prime Directive. That's what we do.
That's right.
Very happy to have you with us today. I wish for everybody that next week gets better. That's what I want to say.
I'll take
Tough
that.
week for people. I hope that your week gets better, and I'm here to tell you that it didn't get better for Oscar Santana, because, ladies and gentlemen, he walks into the studio today, and he tells all of us that he's been hacked.
That's right.
The Chinese.
What they did, like they came out and they said to him,
We want deal.
Oh, my God.
Fellas,
Oh, my God.
I think it had to have been in Mike's news when I first heard about the Department of Personnel Services. That's not something it's called. Occupational
Personnel Management.
Whatever. Well, what in the government, right? They got hacked.
it's the
Pretty big.
cafeteria, Mike.
Yeah, so HR got hacked for the government. and
Like the HR department.
Right.
The Robbie Gomez of the federal government was hacked.
Human
No, I'm sorry,
Resources
It was Donna
government.
that was
Right.
HR. I said
Exactly.
Donna.
So
Human
the
Resources
Office
government.
of Personnel Management got hacked, and I said, well, 4 million names, it could have been worse. This
Sure.
was when they first reported the story. And then as the story continued to evolve, it wasn't 4 million names. It was more like 40 million names got hacked.
Right.
And stories about the Chinese government and really having a relentless cyber war against the United States. They're always doing. They're doing it every day, and we're doing it to them, and the Russians are doing it to them, and they're doing it to
Mr.
us.
Olympia of cyber attacks right now. That's what they're doing, right?
Right.
And then a couple weeks later, you hear that the United database got hacked, and United is one of the main carriers into China. And
the United Airlines.
Yes, and if cross-reference the flight manifests with those records from the Office of Personnel Management, then you have people that are coming to China that are working for the government. That's
Is this because of your trip to China that this happened to you?
Oh, good thought.
First I thought it was because of the podcast, and I said, "Oh my God." Somehow
Which
we're
podcast?
being watched. This podcast.
This one?
Yes.
Oh, it's Tech 411 if it's anything.
Big government. I said,
The
oh,
Chinese
my God.
hate Todd.
I was hacked earlier this year when my investment broker got a call from someone requesting a transfer of money. And they called me to verify. I said, I don't know anything of what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And then I had to blow everything up. It was terrible.
So
really,
I see this letter. I read it for the fourth time, and I said, I thought this was just for federal government employees.
Was it a letter in the mail?
Yeah, a letter in the mail.
Did it look almost like junk mail, like they'd sent out a million of them?
Yes. The ink was smudged.
Sure.
Printer was running out of toner.
Yeah.
I mean, it
Well, that
really
ain't
was.
cheap.
I was with Ceballos with a real last name.
Yes.
That's my real last name, as most of you know. You're at the bottom of the list. The toner was low.
Yeah.
So
You are so getting hacked again. You're now revealed your real last name and that you're
Please.
that you're eligible for hacking.
take everything. I have nothing. So I see that and I'm like, oh, why would my name be in that database? Right?
who let you know that you got hacked?
The government.
What, they called you from the government?
No, they wrote a letter and said, my bad, we got hacked.
Wow.
Sorry, dude.
Here's
Might
18
be.
months of some membership to some fraud monitoring service. And by the way, be vigilant. That's what they said. Vaya con Dios.
Yeah. If you see something, say something. Best. Barack
Hey,
Obama.
Rob.
Yeah.
Rob, doesn't Roger, the allergy boy, doesn't he work at the HR, one of the HR offices of the
The
federal
Office
government?
of
believe he
Personnel
does.
Management.
Try, see if we can get him on the phone.
Yeah,
Get the
let me
old telephone out and see if we
See
can
if
get
we
him on the
can't
phone.
give him a call. I'd
Well,
like
go ahead.
I'd
So-
like to talk to Roger.
Yeah.
So there's two things at play. One, I worked for the Department of Labor and briefly the Department of Defense as a young lad, right?
Right.
As an intern.
Oh,
So
you
they
did? I didn't know that you
so,
did that.
So they had my information already. Two, I had a handful of friends, because we grew up in this area, that were getting security clearances for the federal government, right? For different
Right.
agencies. So they would come to me and ask me for a reference, and I would give them my social and everything else. So that was already in the database as a reference.
All right, calling Roger now.
So my question is, was it when I was an intern for the Department of Labor and DOD, or
Right.
was it because I was just kind enough to give my information to my friends that wanted to do something with their lives in government?
Or it could have been your trip to China. Oh, hello. Please don't.
China.
Hello,
Hi, who's calling?
this is Roger
Oh,
at the
Roger.
federal
Roger.
government. Are
Hi,
you
Roger.
talking to me?
Yeah,
Are you talking
Roger.
to me?
Roger,
Hello.
here's a name that might spark your fancy.
Who's calling? I don't even know.
It's
The
Oscar.
phone rang. The phone rang, and then I picked up the phone and I heard talking. So I mean, you weren't talking to me. Is this a party line?
No, this is the Mike O'Mara show, and let me see if this name
Party
rings.
line. Is this show being done in 1959?
It was a good reference on my little
Party
Margie.
line, that's
But,
pretty damn
here we go.
funny.
Yeah, Mike calling back the ghost of Gail Storm.
Hi.
Do you remember the name Oscar Zabayos?
Why are you asking? You're not gonna make me go through my files again, are you?
No.
Roger.
Oh, Rob, I hope you know. I recognize your voice. Hi, Oscar.
Roger. Hey, Roger. I know that's
How's it going,
my 10th
boys?
call.
I love
You
your
call him a
show.
lot?
Yeah, I want to call. I just want to figure out what's
I love your show.
Thank you.
What's your favorite part of the show?
Well, after I blow my nose, so I can, so my station tubes can clear out and I can actually hear the program.
Yeah, a lot of
I've
ragweed.
been having a devil of a time with the late summer pollen. The late summer pollen's wreaking havoc
What
on
about
me.
the early summer hacking?
Yeah.
The early summer hacking is the same thing as the late summer pollen because the fact is, you want to know this, guys, Washington, D.C. was built on a swamp.
That's true.
And all all the plant life and the trees that have all the dust on them and all that. I'm just miserable most
When
of
you
the
hear,
year.
hey Roger,
Hi, Rob.
when you hear about the hacking, do you mostly think of coughing and expectoration?
I do. Hacking for me is usually my lower lung infection, my bouts with frequent chronic bronchitis.
Hey, Roger.
But, yes, Oscar.
When is the federal government going to change the way they deal with their records?
Yeah.
It's. I told you this the last time you asked me about it. It's a totally complete quagmire.
A what?
Were you? It's a quagmire.
Oh, okay, quagmire.
It's a quagmire. It's like wading through your own personal swamp, dealing with the bureaucracy of the federal government. But as my mother told me, she said, Roger, if you're going to go on that show again, make sure you don't bite the hand that feeds you.
What are some?
Hi, Pony Boy.
Hey, Roger, look what I have for you.
Pony boy.
Peanut
Everybody
butter,
likes
huh?
Pony
Peanut butter.
Yeah.
Oh, just keep that away from me. You remember the last time that happened? Oh my God, my entire neck blew up like a giant deformed radish.
Hey, Roger.
I almost couldn't swallow or breathe.
What should I do to protect myself?
Yeah, what's his best move?
Okay, so I assume you've had some problems with your internet security or your personal
No, I'm
information
just
being
tired
hacked.
of looking over every statement like a serial killer to make sure that I wasn't hacked.
You know, Roger, if this is a long answer, maybe we could meet for lunch. Would you like to have some shellfish with us?
That's not funny, Rob. You remember that one time I said to you, what kind of soup is this? And you said corn chowder. And you told me distinctly that there was no seafood in the corn chowder. And then the waitress comes over and said, did you find any big pieces of shrimp? And that's, of course, when I began to swell up in my ankles. I had to kick my loafers off. And unfortunately, I was barely able to walk out of the place, and I went right to the emergency room. Don't you know about my allergy situation, for God's sake?
Where did you go?
The emergency room. They have great doctors over there at the George Washington University Hospital.
That's a good one. It's a good one. So
I
what can
don't know.
Oscar do to protect himself?
I don't know. I'm just a low-level government bureaucrat. How am I supposed to tell him what he's supposed to do? That's impossible, for God's sake. I basically come to work every day and make sure that I don't ingest too many allergens that are floating around the eyes. For Christ's sake, the skin off of people can cause me to have a flare.
A flare.
I don't want to have any more flares. I feel so tired today.
Yeah, are you on any sort of like a Mucinex or anything?
How'd you know? That's my favorite product, Mucinex. I've got it in pill form and also in spray form. I only wish they had it topical because I'd rub it all over my body to prevent any type of problem.
Are you
Yes?
tired of showing your ID when you buy Mucinex D?
Yeah.
The fact is that they know me so well down there at what I like to call the People's Drugstore. It's a CVS now, but I still refer
call
to it as
People's, do
People's.
you?
Yeah. And back when I was a young lad, back in the 1970s, and my mother would take me over to People's Drug. They know me so well, they give it to me anyway. I don't need to show any identification.
Roger, do you care that there are millions of federal government workers that now have to look over their shoulder to make sure that their information that was compromised because of the lack of security in the federal government now have to deal with all of this?
Okay, I put a list together of things that I really care about.
Oh,
I
good.
can
Okay.
share it with you if you want.
Love that, yeah.
Okay, number one, I'll go from 1 to 5.
Okay.
Number one is, and I did it last year and got in big trouble, so I'll never do it again, so I put it to the top of my list. Remembering Mother's birthday.
Oh, it's a bitch, isn't it?
That's number one. That's number one, all right?
And you can't forget.
Number two, let me see the paper. Completion of all chores at home so as not to upset Mother.
Yeah. You still
That's
live at
it.
home?
Of course I live at home. I got the best deal in the world. I've got my own room that I grew up in.
Yeah, sure.
That's
And Mother,
fantastic.
she needs assistance, right?
Yeah, she needs assistance, and also I still have to go to rule number 3 that I keep on the list at all time. No girls.
Dough girls?
Do.
Oh, no.
Do.
Okay.
Ed. O.
Not
Do. Do girls.
I thought that was
Do
a
girls.
category.
Yeah, like Pillsbury.
Yeah.
Number 4, make sure my EpiPen is always in my backpack. And number 5, and it doesn't, I didn't even put a sentence there. I put one word, Pony Boy Bloom. Number 5 in giant capital letters. You ready for this one?
Yeah, please.
Peanuts. You know what I'm talking about.
Thanks for all your help, Roger. I really
I'm really
appreciate it.
sorry
got
you
it
got
nailed
hacked,
on.
Oscar. Will you explain a little more of that when we come back from the break?
Sure.
All right, well, I've got to go now. I've got a job to do, Rob Spiewak.
I understand.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. What a jerk.
This week on the Mike O'Mara Bonus Show.
You know what I was really good at before I was even in radio? I was a club DJ.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I was saying to myself, what a novelty act would it be if a guy over the age of 55 became one of the most celebrated DJs in the history of club DJs?
I'd buy it.
Strong, good, big, tremendous, strong, good, big, tremendous, strong, good, big, tremendous, strong, good, big, tremendous.
Dead Mike 5.
Dead Mike 5.
Dead Mike.
The Mike O'Mara Bonus Show. Because 5 hours a week just ain't enough. Always available at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. Don't let the summertime temperatures fool you. Fall is right around the corner, and that means back to school time. Kids hate it, but mom and dad are tickled pink because it's easy to stock up on all your school time essentials at Amazon.com. Amazon has everything for back to school: books, supplies, lunch boxes, even clothes and shoes. Besides, anytime you purchase something through our Amazon link, we get a tiny percentage. So if you're shopping Amazon anyway, please shop in a way that helps us out. It doesn't cost you any extra, and it's the best way to support the show. Next time you need to buy anything, go to MikeO'MaraShow.com/Amazon or click the Amazon button on our website. I do that all the time.
Sure.
Or use the TMOS app and click the shopping cart. Then shop like you normally would. It's that simple, and we thank you in advance for that. Welcome back to the show. So the long and short of this whole hacking situation with you is you just have to look over your shoulder, as you were saying. That's what you're going to have to deal with.
They got me by the short hairs.
It sucks, and
Right?
that's everywhere now. And that's and if it's not the Chinese,
Well, I
it's
would
some other
rather-
country.
I would rather the Russians or the Ukrainians with all their nefarious.
You don't want to mess with the
No,
Ukrainians.
that's like a .ru thing, right?
Really?
Yeah.
No, you
Really?
do that. That's
Well,
scary.
I would
That's scary
rather
people.
them just do that, shop through our Amazon tab, and get us some sort of credit when they do their illegal purchases with my Amex. Right? I'd rather them do that than to have a national government have my information that does them no good, but for somehow I'm in a database somewhere. Right?
Yeah.
So now
You
if I
haven't seen any evidence of your banking or your
if
finances or
I
anything.
land in China next time, in mainland China, they're gonna know that I work for the federal government. Now, if they do what they say you do, that they watch everything, like, am I gonna have one extra, like not bad guy, but like software attached to my phone when I turn it
How
on? now?
old
Like, I
were
don't
you
know
when
how
you
it's
did
gonna
this internship thing? How old
go.
were
I
you
was
when
in
this-
college.
Okay, so it wasn't that long.
How did this never come up?
I was working. I remember when it happened. I had gotten the DOD and Department of Labor
State
internship.
Department worker Oscar.
Yeah, you know what?
Santana.
Because Oscar, and forgive me for
Yes.
bringing, when I try to put together your sort of hazy, foggy past,
It's a foggy past, isn't it?
It is, and you
Different
know what?
colleges, like 3 different colleges
and
or
it's
something like
organic
that.
and ever changing.
Variety of life.
It's really weird because when I think of you in that age and I see you were a lifeguard and then you were working for a thing where you would jump out of a van and go and sell something. And door to door.
Home fix windows.
That's right. And then,
siding.
Oh, and he's like, oh, yeah, I can't sell siding today because I'm going up to Capitol Hill to address Congress.
no.
So, I mean, how did this all sort of
It's all over the place,
I'll
isn't
give
it?
you. I'll give you.
I
the
think the
evolution.
Chinese should keep an eye on
When
you.
I was 14, I just turned 14. I got a job at Baskin Robbins for a summer. Right.
Yes.
So worked all summer at Baskin
Hitting
Robbins.
the dinger for no particular reason.
I like it. That was Mike. If you can look on his Facebook page. This was the summer that Oscar weighed 290
Yes.
pounds.
Let's do. Hey, let's see. We'll do a round table right here, and let's see if we can get all our from the beginning.
Okay,
all
from
of
the
our
very
resumes.
beginning. If we're going from very beginning.
Very beginning, and we go through it quickly.
When I was 8 years old, I was hired by the homeowner association in our townhouse complex to walk around and pick up trash. I got that. That was my job, right?
8 years old.
Yeah.
That's
Fantastic.
Mike known as the summer of tetanus.
So, no, I had a little stick, and I'd walk around. They pay me $20 a month to do it. It was nice and
That's
neat.
wonderful.
Why not,
That's great.
right?
Okay.
So then when I was 10...
16 cents an hour.
When I was... Well, when you're a kid...
Yeah.
Something. My dad was on the homeowner association. He said, my son will do it. And I said, all right.
Pocket money.
No, you
Pocket
got to pay
money.
me. You got to
Good
pay me
stuff.
money.
That's right.
Right.
When I was 10 and 11, I worked for Home Fix Windows and Siding.
This
I
is a
told
good
them I
job,
was
yeah.
13, but I wasn't. But I worked for them, and that's
Okay.
when I would walk around and canvass these homes in case they wanted to change their windows or siding, and we'd get leads for them. Bottom line.
Right.
Okay. At
So-
13, you're getting leads,
Yes.
beating the bushes. That's fantastic.
So
All right.
at 14, I could actually work legally somewhere. So and not just like the cash jobs. I went out of my way and I got a job at the Baskin Robbins up the street, something I could take the metro to, right?
Okay.
Very
So I
good.
took the bus
metro
to
too.
work, and then you'd be good to go. And then
Right.
when I was 15, that's when I said, enough of the Baskin Robbins nonsense. I'm going to become a lifeguard. So I was a lifeguard all through high school, and then
That was his. We like to refer to that as his season of discovery.
at the
That's right.
at the
And also, Mike known in the book as the summer of floaters.
and through my sophomore year in college. In my sophomore year in college, I realized that I fell in love with radio. I wanted to work at WHFS. So I applied to WHFS, but at the same time, I applied through school for a government internship.
I had no idea.
Yes.
I didn't know this. I didn't. He doesn't talk about it
No,
very
he
often.
doesn't.
So I got a government internship at the Department of Defense and the Department of Labor. I worked at both, but during my Department of Labor internship, I got the internship for WHFS.
Did the two government agencies know that you were working for both of them, or did you have to was there a lot of wacky mix-ups?
No, it was.
Was there like Oscar and Olaf, and
No,
you
they
had two
have-
identities?
No, it was one summer for one, but the second summer, the Department of Labor summer, is the one that A, paid you very well.
Okay.
And
Oh,
B,
so you're a paid intern.
Yes,
That's good.
we got
That's a
paid,
big
which
deal.
was huge.
Yeah. Thank
Something
you for
that doesn't exist on the Mike O'Mara show.
and the beginning of a huge federal deficit for our country.
And I got the internship at WHFS. I couldn't tell my parents that I wasn't going to work for the government and just work for WHFS. So I somehow convinced my intern coordinator at the Department of Labor to let me work Monday through Friday at their job, but a flex schedule where I could work longer hours and leave on Thursday, so I could work at WHFS on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and evenings when they needed me. So that's how I kept the WHFS internship and worked at the Department of Labor.
I had no idea that you were doing that. And when did you work at the Department of Defense?
So that was the summer beforehand, and that was a flex schedule as well as part-time.
Okay. All right,
Okay,
but
so you
didn't
worked
get paid
defense.
there.
Then the next summer you worked labor,
Yeah.
and you got the HFS
Yeah, the
internship, and you
defense,
did both.
yes, I got paid at the defense as well. They paid the government interest was pay. Bottom line.
Okay.
Wow,
Yeah, very
you
good.
know, the only thing that prevented him from being on the stage next to Marco Rubio in that presidential debate is that he got an internship at the mighty WHF.
That's it. That's when it all went south
He
for
could have
him.
been our next president.
The cool part
He's trying to
was-
repair it, though.
The cool part was that when I went to WHFS and they were like, well, we need you to do at least 20 hours. I said, I'm willing to work nights and weekends. They said, nah, they give you the riff. They're like, we have all these people that applied.
What year was this?
2000, the year 2000.
You know, that is just about the time they really started to crack down on internships and enforcing rules.
How about I would drive the cars as an intern? Like I was doing engineering and promotions as an intern, and I wasn't even bonded and insured by the company, right?
And incidentally, radio stations looked at interns as slave labor. They did. That's exactly what they were.
So I convinced the guy. I said, I will work harder than anyone else in the 3 days you have me on the weekends that probably nobody wants to work. And I convinced him. I said, all these kids have lives. I was like, I'm giving you every weekend of the summer. Let me work for you.
And all he asked in return, Mike, was 1 college credit and to be taught English.
How about this? How about this? I didn't get credit.
What?
You didn't get credit
I
for
lied
it.
and said I was getting credit for it.
Yeah, same here.
And I didn't get credit for it.
You just wanted to get in the door, because they would have said, no, you're not going to get credit for this, and that's the way it
Oh,
works.
and I just knew as soon as I walked in, I said, no one's going to call anybody. Like, I'm just going to work for free all summer.
That was
Rob?
sort of dissolving. I got, how long did I intern for the Don and Mike show? I think
I don't know.
19 months, and
Right.
I got a
Sure.
college credit.
Yeah.
You
That's
got
it.
a college.
But
And
then-
what did you?
Credit.
Really quickly, what did you do in your younger days? What were
Younger
your jobs?
days, I in the in the wintertime, we had a Christmas tree stand. So I would sell Christmas trees from like age 10 on.
Okay. All right.
We also, Big Daddy gardened, and I sold and attended to the vegetable stand. I did that till I was 16 or 17.
Little Robbie at the vegetable
Hey,
stand.
I can
like
figure
that.
sales tax in my head, and customers love me.
My head is as big as that watermelon.
That's right. We didn't sell watermelon.
All right. What about after that?
Delivered furniture.
Yeah. Okay.
Safeway, both locally and in Richmond.
Right.
And then on to radio, and here I am today.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, and I, for 6 years, interned at the Department of the Interior.
There you go. All right, very good. All right, let me see if I can do this. Let me see. Okay, first job ever. Picking tobacco. I worked for Dufford Construction, and they had tobacco fields, and I was a suckerer for broadleaf tobacco.
You blew everybody.
What is a suckerer?
What
no,
does that even mean?
Suckers are the weeds that actually grow on the stalk of the tobacco
Point
plant.
of order, they're not really a weed. They're part of the plant. But they're a non-valuable part of the plant. So by breaking it off, the
don't tell
plant
Mike
goes
about
stronger.
his job. How
Telling
do you know?
and
you break them off.
Yeah, you break
so
them
you
off.
break them off. I did that. That lasted 2 weeks. Then I worked painting houses in Glastonbury, Connecticut. I worked with Gary Caldwell painting houses, and they were all these old colonials, and they had oil-based paint on the exterior. So when you get up to a ladder and it's 89 degrees in August, you get the worst head rush and worst headache in the world. Probably caused permanent damage. Thank you very much.
No sign of it to this day, though, Mike.
Yes. Following that, I became an employee at Katz Creative Decorating, which was an offshoot of Katz Hardware.
Yeah.
And it was a paint and wallpaper
Now
store.
an insurance company.
And no, it's not any
Katz
longer.
Insurance?
No.
Katz
And
Insurance.
I think he does mornings on.
Lou Katz?
Yeah, it's 90.
16 years old, I was working for
97
Katz Creative Decorating. I was fired from that
They
job.
opened the Cat Cafe.
Dick Katz said to me, generally things didn't work out, and my father was pissed off because he didn't give me a specific reason. Following that, I
Can
became.
you do a quick impression? You've never told us how Dick Katz talked.
All right.
Do you remember his voice?
I love this. Nah, you're slicking back your hair?
He's turning around like Frank Gorshin would do on the Ed Sullivan Show when he turns around.
Generally, things haven't worked out. No, sounded nothing like that. He had a big fat ass, too. Big fat ass with his gray flannels.
How dare you not do more squats?
Dick. But anyway, so that's it. And I remember my dad actually got pissed and called him and said, do you think that's right to do, a 16-year-old? Well, not on your scale of values, is it, Dick? Hang up. I remember. Only time my father defended me in my entire life. The only time my father ever did that. I'll never forget it. Incidentally, when you talk about let them fight their own battles, it's a pretty amazing feeling as a kid when your father fights.
Hell yeah.
It was kind of cool.
I don't know what that feels like.
Never did it again, including the time I sneezed in Robin Riley's hair, and my dad sent me down to the police station, and I was the only one at the police station without their father. I felt really alone then, so he made up for it. But anyway, that was Katz Creative Decorating. Following that, my dream job, my illustrious, wonderful job. I worked as a camp counselor at Camp Phelps Ingersoll. And did that for a couple of years after that. That was it. There were some jobs, I think, in between.
You drove the short bus.
I drove a regular bus. I drove a regular bus. Now, not only did I drive a bus for the camp, but I also drove a bus when I got into college, part-time, a regular school bus. And I drove in snowstorms, in microbursts. I actually had a microburst come through. We thought it was maybe a tornado, and I got all the kids off of the school bus and ran them into a nearby home because I was that freaked out about it. That's how scared I was.
I'm sure that's part of policy nowadays. No one would have a problem with that, with the bus driver taking all of the children into an unidentified home.
They were camp. That was the camp. That was the camp that I was doing.
Even better, Mike. There's summer, and it's like I think
incidentally
it's
the technique.
In the cellar.
Can I offer you a little bus driving? Can I ask you a little bus driving technique?
Yeah.
When I would do the regular school routes, the middle school students were particularly offensive to me.
Sure.
And they were very, very badly behaved. And it used to be the brake technique. And you want to get a loud, obnoxious school bus to really stop talking, you just at the very last moment when you come to the stop sign, you kick the brake, and it causes every one of those little heads to snap back. Really, really lots of fun. Yes, I could have injured them.
Age.
Yeah. It was. I had it then too.
Attaboy.
Thank you. Following that, it was on to American Princeton University, where I got a job as a desk assistant at NBC News. And I worked for NBC Network Radio.
Is cool.
I worked with Peter Hackus. I worked with some of the luminaries like Bernard Kalb, Marvin Kalb, those are Irving R. Levine, some great old journalists that I got a chance to hear.
Katz, didn't he?
Yeah, but generally things haven't worked out. Then it was on to, let me see, I worked at WOHN out in Herndon, and after WOHN became WVBK, I was hired by Jack Diamond to work at WYRE to do a morning show.
Yes.
Jack Diamond resigned his group program directorship for the AM and FM station, was replaced by Chuck Dickman, who also quit shortly thereafter, probably within at least a month and a half's time. Both of them quit. I walked into Sid Abel, the owner of the property, and said, I can be your group program director for both radio stations. And I was hired at, I believe, 24 or 25 years old to be a group program director.
Moxie.
Hated it.
Moxie.
Hated every bit of it. I did not like
You
it. I
love
did not care
firing
for it.
people.
I didn't love firing people. It was not fun. These particular guys, the St. Valentine's Day Massacre, when I fired 4 guys on Valentine's Day, probably didn't mind that one. It was time to clean house.
Sure.
They weren't doing very. And then it was on to WAVA and
Fame and Fortune.
the Donna Mike show, and that was the rest.
Oh,
In between,
I
I was a club DJ. I was a club DJ at most of my work was done, during college, and then later at a club up in Gaithersburg called Raffles 2. Which was the Gaithersburg Marriott Hotel. I don't think it's there anymore. I'm not sure.
And Mike, what are you doing now?
Thanks, Rob. We'll take a break. Truly appreciate that. That was a lot of fun. Next year, we'll get to Pony's resume. Anyway.
Maybe you'll have something on it.
We'll take a break, come back with more fun and more thrills on the Mike O'Mara Show.
What gives this mess some grace unless it kicks?
Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. Can you believe that August is nearly over? Where did the summer go? Here's the thing about this time of year. Either hotter than balls or it's hinting at the arrival of fall and cooler temperatures. And I got news for you. Blinds.com is there to help whether it's super hot or super cold. They have cellular shades, the same ones I have down at my home down in Florida. Blinds.com has tons of cellular shades. They've got you covered in both extremes, cold or hot. Cellular shades have an insulating honeycomb. They're super lightweight. They cover a huge surface area, and they're not too heavy, and they keep the outside temperatures outside. I love my cellular shades from Blinds.com. They've been helping folks for over 25 years, the best customer service people in the business, and I'll tell you something, they give you free color samples, free shipping, and prices that absolutely crush store prices. If you need window coverings, you've got to go to Blinds.com. Super affordable, easy to install. Go to Blinds.com today and start enjoying your home and patio without the annoying heat and glare. You will see easy in a whole new light with Blinds.com. Blinds.com, we love them, and those are the same ones that you see in my home in Florida. Welcome back to the show. Whoa, everybody. I had a fanboy moment last night.
A good one or a horrifying one?
My cousin is pretty well plugged in up here, and let's not mention any names, but I will tell you, cousin. Got a cousin that's plugged in. I'll say cousin Ted, and had a famous visitor, the former great senator from the state of Maine, Olympia Snow, who was on the patio last night.
Look at that.
And got to chat with her. I have tremendous respect. That's she kind of got out of the game when she decided that there was just too much dysfunction, and she was a Republican senator from the great state of Maine, very independent-minded and very interesting to talk to. And I'm kind of starstruck, when you're sitting next to a United States senator.
Very small handful of them ever. I mean.
Because it was the last-second invite for me to go down there. Carl had already, gotten ready to put the baby down, so I ran down there really quickly. And as I'm sitting there with my cousin and my sister and my sister's family, I became aware of my uniform that I wear a lot up here, which was not exactly cocktail hour presentable.
Can I?
You know what I mean?
So no dinner jacket?
Can I guess?
You go ahead. If you want to guess, you can try.
Okay. So there's Florida Mike and then there's Maine Mike,
yeah,
right?
Maine Mike is different.
Yeah, because Maine Mike has to deal with cooler temperatures.
Yes.
Right.
Exactly. Not yesterday though.
Rougher terrain. Right, because there are pebbles on the beaches there, not sand.
When I'm out dog sledding,
and of course wildlife.
Yeah, so I would say you had a wicking golf shirt on, the type that let you breathe, good material. Fair? No.
I will guess that
I
you
would
had-
probably have wicking material on, but it was not a golf shirt.
Okay.
which
How
made it
about
even
were you
worse.
wearing some sort of one of your fishing styled shirts that you sometimes
That is
wear?
incorrect.
Oh, darn it.
Yeah, you guys know what I wear.
What about
There's only one left, by the way. If you're
what
going
about
to-
your
Tank top.
gym teacher shorts that you wear all the time?
No, I was not wearing gym teacher shorts, but
Okay.
the fact is, I
Ball
was
huggers?
wearing
Ball huggers.
I was wearing the synthetic tee that I wear often on the show.
Okay.
Oh, you had just a T-shirt.
I just
Oh,
had that,
not a good
that,
look.
I had that moisture wicking T-shirt, and
Like you
really
were going to
that-
work out, but you don't work out.
Or he just came
yeah.
from working out, except he didn't.
Yes.
I was wearing
Yes.
my black jeans from Kohl's.
Oh
and
my! Cash
and,
back though. Did you get your Kohl's
wearing
cash?
on my feet.
Kohl's
Oh, and I
cash,
was
yeah.
wearing and my Brooks walking shoes.
Oh God!
So it really was a horrible ensemble.
Yeah, it's like
That
you
was
gave
a-
up on life.
Yeah, it was. It was kind of the give up look.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I thought it was
I'm
just
on
going
the
to be.
internet.
I thought it was just going to be Teddy and my sister. I didn't know we have a United
Mike,
States.
you
flag.
When the
always
senator
have to be
saw your
prepared.
when the
Always.
senator saw your outfit, did she regret getting out of the politics
She
game?
could not have been nicer.
maybe.
I had some real one-on-one conversation with her, and we were talking about lots of interesting things. And I was telling her that I have a place up here now,
And then you're going
because,
to be on the 207.
Didn't mention that.
Didn't come
mention that.
up?
We may be moving that location, though. I haven't even
To-
asked Carla about it. We might move it down to the family abode,
I think that'd
which
be
I think
nice.
would be a pretty good backdrop.
better
but at
look,
the same
a better
time,
look.
But at the same time, this is Carla's home, and I think she's proud of it, and she wants to put out a little.
Maybe it's
spread
not
and
ready
stuff like-
for television.
And
know?
did you mention her?
Oscar. You don't think it would make a good impression if they saw the double wide that I live in up here? that would be something that they
And
maybe
did
go.
it ever come up? Did you ever think of telling Carla that this is not HDTV? This is about you.
Yeah,
And I
no,
mean, it's really
I haven't
not
even.
about the house.
I've told you guys before. I've told her.
Yeah,
that
the family
that's
home
one of
shows
the,
history.
Yes.
That's what I would. That's how
I think
would sell it.
it's
Make
got
sure
a
they
great
sign a release.
Roots.
Before
It's
they
got a
go
great
in.
backdrop, and I think that would be cool. And yeah, so I might. So Teddy's signed off on it, and
Oh, that's nice.
that might. It's also showing off in front of my family, which would be kind of cool. You know,
Well,
it's like,
is,
hey, look at me.
is the governor going to be there?
No,
Maybe that would be a
absolutely
nice.
not, no.
Hey, look who it is! It's Olympia Snow.
Oh, look who walked in.
And you know what? That would be great. if you
I
had
know
it.
them so they know me so well that I probably have to reintroduce myself when
It
I see
would be
them.
so
That's it.
great is that if Oscar was some part of it and introduced a former senator as, oh, look, it's the governor.
Oh my God!
Rob, I will tell you this: when I saw the governor, who the senator is married to, the former governor, Governor John McKernan
Right.
of the great state of Maine, I will say this: that he did reference the fact that we played golf years ago, and that's when he was a sitting governor, ladies and gentlemen. So
Wow,
that
he
was,
remembered
very,
that
very
without
cool.
prompting?
He remembered that without prompting. Look, he taught me how to play tennis. This kid, when I was a little baby. I mean, this guy. I've known this guy for a very, very long time.
So he's like a local guy.
If I was a Republican, I might have been a player. Okay,
Wow.
I might have been a real
player?
player, but yeah, I might have been a
Like
player.
multiple
baby.
women?
No.
No,
I'm
no, he's talking about pro
like
tennis.
a politics player.
I'm talking about my career.
Basketball.
But anyway, so it was fun. It was fantastic.
Did you get
And,
a chance to talk to the senator? The
yeah,
one thing you said that was
hello.
interesting is you said she got out of the game because she saw it as frustrating trying to get things done.
if
Did
you
you get
watch-
a chance to talk to her about that?
If you Google her farewell speech, she's got a website up there that's about bringing people together from different points of view. So she's very into that. She was very into coalition building. Anybody that knows politics knows this when she was in the Senate. And I've had tremendous admiration for Olympia for most of my life. I really, really do. She's a throwback to what they should be up there, which is trying to solve problems. And I think she got out of it because they weren't doing that anymore, and it was just gridlock. So she's one of the people that said, enough.
how long since she stepped down? Because it seems to me you talked
2013.
about it. Yeah, you talked about it when it happened. I
Yeah,
remember you
2013.
addressing it. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so I have a lot of respect for her, and it's always an honor. Look, who wouldn't be starstruck? You know, it
True
takes
enough.
an awful
Did
lot
you
to
ask
become
for her
a
autograph?
No, I did not ask for her
Did you get a
autograph.
picture?
A picture
my
would've been
family
nice.
knows her. My family knows her, so
Yeah,
it's,
but
it's,
photos are. It didn't happen.
Right.
I understand.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm lying. That's it. Can we move on,
How
please?
about a
Thank
selfie,
you.
Senator?
All right, shut up. All right,
Are
let's
you
move
friends
on
with
to
her
you.
on Facebook?
I am not friends with her on Facebook.
Maybe I'll friend
Thank
request
you.
her. I have
Will you
someone.
stop it? Will you behave
Start a
yourself,
fan
please?
page, yeah.
I know, Mike. Please accept.
Capital O apostrophe.
Well, you're driving me crazy.
I know, Mike and Teddy O'Mara. Please accept me.
And you know what? Maybe just mention Teddy.
I did get a haircut for this meeting, though. I did get a haircut, which was very good.
Not for that meeting, though.
Not
it's
for
just
that
a
meeting, but
coincidence.
earlier in the day, I had gone by water over to Bar Harbor by myself, gotten off on a dock. It was, how cool is this? How Maine is
That
this,
is
right?
very cool when
And-
you
and
actually
walked
travel
up-
by water to go to
So
a town.
I go to the little information booth that's right down on the dock because they have a lot of those whale watching trips, and they have those big fishing boats that go out. You know, the tourist boats that come out and see a
Are
harbor
any of the
seal.
whales also the tourists?
No, it's not like gambling. Yeah, they have Asian magnates that are hacking Oscar and making billions. Yeah, we got a whale on the boat today. No,
I
they
don't
go
know
out
why
to
the
watch
plane
whales.
didn't work,
Yes.
but at least we found it down here, not up there, thank God.
You're
Look, the
exhausting me,
casino's
Rob
open
Spivak.
again.
The whale watching is what they do. I go up and I said, "Is there a decent barber shop in town?" And the guy says there's only one on the island, and if you go all the way up, and he shows me on a map, and I know Bar Harbor well enough that this is a vertical climb, and it's about 3/4 of a mile up this. So it's a bit of a hike to get up there, and it was I would say probably 81, 82 degrees and a little humid.
Yeah.
So I'm chugging up the hill, and I'd already had my 2.5-mile walk in the morning where I broke the 17-minute mark, and I was very proud of that.
Oh, nice
and
work.
if you're keeping track. If you're keeping track, by the way. half a pound down from last week. Not I wasn't the full pound that I expected, but I'm still moving in the southerly direction of my weight, and I'm not gaining, so I'm very happy about that.
That's
but anyway,
excellent.
So I go up there, but I'm still, as you know, a large person, and so the idea of walking briskly up this hill in about 90% humidity and 85-degree temperatures. Notice I added up to the temperature there. I was pretty schwitzy by the time I got to the barber shop.
you're not at a regular elevation. You're dealing with a lot of forces.
Yeah, and you're out of town, so you're not at ease.
I'm at sea level, for Christ's sake.
Were you wearing a wicking material?
No. Yeah, I was wearing the same. I was wearing the same shirt that I would be wearing later at the cocktail. I wore my outfit, same outfit I wore on the show. I don't make costume changes during the day.
It's the best outfit for the day.
Mike O'Mara has been dressed by Bob Mackey for
Thank
his
you.
haircut.
Very happy about that. I walk up the hill and I'm wearing the same, and I'm schwitzing, like super schwitzing.
Sure.
And when I start schwitzing, I am not necessarily going to stop schwitzing for quite some time. So I walk in, but I said, I got to get this haircut. And I walk in, and suddenly you know how you know when you go into a good barber shop? You know you're going to get the right kind of, and it was fan, but it was a Maine barber shop. And these were old Maine guys, and these old Maine guys were cutting the hair of younger Maine guys.
Cool.
So you had the younger Maine, real Maine guys, and the older Maine, and I was there kind of out of my element.
Yeah,
and
they were all
you're hearing
Maine
things
except
like,
for Mike.
they were all Maine except for Mike. I was obviously from away, and they sit there and they say, well, you don't know what you're going to see in Bar Harbor in the summer. Everybody's a Pepperidge Farm commercial.
Wow.
And she's like, well, hello there. Another guy comes in, and it's the bell that rings.
Because it's on the door.
Ring, ring, ring. Hello there, Bill. Hello, Mr. Ray. And then they go into this whole thing. Well, he's Mr. Ray. The guy's name was Ray. He's Mr. Ray. And at this point, I had to weigh whether we used to have a hair transplant guy called Mr. Ray in Baltimore.
Hi.
Didn't want to go there.
You're not there to entertain. Let them do
I'm
their
not
thing.
there to do.
No, yeah, it would be a
I
hard
just
sell
listen.
on a regional comedy thing.
Unless you did Dick Queasy.
Yeah. By golly, I'd like this whole dome to be shaved. Can you take that goddamn clipper and and so this is the only exchange I had with this barber. I said, I go straight back with it, and he says, medium sides. I said, yeah, medium sides, and he goes, yeah, little off the top. I said, yep, and then he's turning back to his little mirror and his blue fluid with the comb and stuff. He goes, medium size, little off the top. And that was it. The rest was happy talk, and he gave me a really, really nice haircut, and it was interesting. These guys have been doing it a long time.
Cool.
Yeah.
I would say these two barbers were probably both in their 70s. And look at this little Nancy boy from away. We're going to cut his hair right now. We're going to cut his hair, and we're going to put something in his butt. Anyway,
what did it cost? What does it cost in Bar Harbor?
It was not cheap for as far as haircuts go.
Yeah.
How
It was $14.
That's about market, I think.
Is it market? Is it market?
I mean,
That
it's not all
is
$5.99.
dirt cheap. Yeah.
It's
Where have you been
relative.
For a
going?
barbershop. For a barbershop. It's
For a
it's about
barbershop,
like-
you could probably get out from I guess 14 is the
So
going.
I
gave him a $5 on top of it.
The Roosters.
That's what they're counting. They're counting on a
I
20.
gave him $20. I gave him
Yeah,
$20
they're counting on
bill.
The
that.
Roosters down the street when it was open,
Right.
$55, right?
Well, that's why they closed.
And then I went to the barber shop where I remember when I almost died.
Yeah.
And it wasn't 50. I saw on the board it said shave and a haircut $18. And I said, well,
That's up from the 2 bits that it used to be.
yeah.
Da-da-da-da-da. 2 bits. Thank you.
And then I said, well, I wasn't going to whore my guy, so I was like, you've clearly done. Here's the real money I should
Right.
pay you, right? But next time I go to that barbershop, I want to pay the $18.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Unless
exactly.
he goes, I can come to your workplace. I was like, I don't need a haircut inside the studio. That would just be a Jeff Lockridge move.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Not without a visit to Arby's.
And then after, yes, go ahead, Rob.
You referenced Mr. Ray, and I just wondered if they had
Mr. Ray's hair weave.
If they had a classic commercial in YouTube. Let's see what happens.
Why not get the most out of your life? Now there is somewhere you can go for an exciting.
Where's
new
Mr. Ray?
I'm sure he'll come in at the end.
Engine style damaged or is thinning or balding.
This is great.
You can now choose the new style you want at Mr. Ray's. In just about 1 hour, Mr. Ray will give you a beautiful new head of 100% human hair with no pain or discomfort. Don't dream about your new style. Go after it.
Call 587-0555 today.
That was the Silver Spring location.
They removed him from the commercial.
Mr.
He used to be the
I know.
Mr. Ray.
Let me see.
Mr. Ray's hair
Maybe
weave.
there's
You got another one?
Yeah, let me see what I can do. That's most disappointing.
What was that TV show? Was it called Alice when she was the diner waitress?
Yeah.
When she with Vic Tayback. That was Vic
Yeah.
And he had the comb over.
As
one
a
of the
kid,
famous
I would
comb
watch
overs.
Alice, and I remember that commercial coming on all the time.
Let Mr. Ray show you how you can knock years off of your life. We weave 100% human hair to your hair for a natural youthful appearance.
Yes.
You'll look years younger and feel better today.
Mr. Ray.
Call 466-4200 now or visit Mr. Ray in Baltimore for the best hair weave at the lowest price in town.
Lowest price in town. Play it again. Play it again. Play it again, please.
That
please.
is fantastic.
That's Mr. Ray.
Let
That's
Mr. Ray show you how you can knock years off of your life. We weave 100% human hair to your hair for a natural youthful appearance. You'll look years younger and feel better today. Call 466-4200 now or visit Mr. Ray in Baltimore for the best hair weave at the lowest price in town.
He does good work, Mr. Ray.
Mr. Ray.
Absolute classic. Absolute. Before we get out of here, Rob Spiewak, you had a parent night where you went back, not back to school, but the opening of school, right?
Yeah, and
Meet the teacher, whatever the hell it's called.
There's 2 stories. Let me go with the short one because one requires a little more time, but I can get this one in. It was an evening where you had to go and meet in the auditorium, and then you went to 9 different talks with 9 different teachers. And, the bell would ring, and you'd walk the halls, and it was hell on earth. It went from 7 till 9:20 at night, and it was sucktastic. And, and I don't know. That's what all of us were saying. As a matter of fact, every time we walked near the front door when we were going to another class, I kept saying to Carrie, "Our car is right there." There's no attendance required. But there was one teacher that I believe was an assistant principal and was talking about the policy of getting all the papers signed on the first day, and when they turn in their packet, that's when they get assigned their locker and locker combination.
So this is you, the parents, have to sign things.
Right.
And she's basically jacking you to make sure you don't slack off.
Don't slack off and
right.
make sure you get these things signed.
I get it.
So there's this hen, this horrible, haggard, ugly, negative, wonderfully horrible woman in the front row, and she raises her hand, and of course this teacher is from Dallas, and she's very proud of the fact that she comes from Dallas,
and she
says,
talks like that.
"I've never been happier than I live in Luckett's, but I love my drive and I love it here, but I'm still a Cowboys fan because I love Dallas." And we go through all that horse shit, and so the lady says, "So the kids will not get their lockers until they bring in their packet," and the lady says, "That's the policy. You have to sign the packet. The packet is turned in, and then they will get their lockers." And the lady says, "But the first day of school, if they need a locker. And the lady said, well, the first day of school they won't have their locker because they'll pick up the packet, and the packet has to be signed to get your locker. And they will not get a locker until they get the white packet signed and returned to class. That's why it's important. She says, but about the lockers, do they get a locker? And at this point,
God.
the Texas lady says, they will get their locker when they return the white packet and it is signed. And then the lady says, but if we don't bring in the white packet, keep in mind, there's 50 other parents, and they're talking one-on-one. And he said, and if we don't bring in the white packet,
I'm never going.
And Texas says, then they don't get a locker. And then you hear, and it's not a real bell. It's like a buzzer almost.
Yes.
And at that point we hear, and we're all like, thank Christ. And so we all leave, and we're in like the main area, the lobby of the school, and this was the greatest. The husband goes up to the blonde lady and says, Jesus, what is it with you and the locker?
Nice.
And turned and walked away from her.
Nice.
Perhaps on Monday's show, I'll talk about the guy who showed up after happy hour for Parent Night.
I can't wait. That was fantastic. Oh, brief but beautiful. We'll take a break. Come back. Oscar Razzi, all the entertainment news that's fit to read with Oscar Santana right here on the Mike O'Mara Show.
Joe, once upon a time, someone took a cheeseburger and added bacon to it. They made it better. Well, that's what we're doing with our murder mystery comedy show. We're adding bacon to it.
That's right. Robb Spiewak will be a part of our next show. It's called The Last Laugh, and you can see it September 4th, 7:30 p.m. at the Arlington Cinema and Draft House. Go to arlingtondrafthouse.com for tickets.
Will Robb get murdered?
Maybe.
Will Robb be the murderer?
Possibly.
Will he get drunk?
100% chance.
Again, September 4th, 7:30, Arlington Cinema and Draft House. Go to arlingtondrafthouse.com for tickets. You're going to eat, drink, laugh, and solve a murder. And maybe, just maybe, one of you will get to take Robb Spiewak's life with your bare hands.
Now that's comedy.
I love it. Hey, everybody, welcome back to the show. It's the Mike O'Mara Show, Open Mike, the audio book, and you're going to love it. Listen to the story of the Mike O'Mara Show as read by the authors, Mike, Robb, and Oscar, in their own words, the entire book, and then some. Hear the whole story, the inside scoop told by people who lived it.
Buy the book, listen to the book, and hear about Oscar the Soothsayer.
I learned what it means to be fired publicly at a very young age. You start learning patterns of stations that are going through format flips. You start understanding what's happening with the sales forecasts and the tempo of your appearances. And then there's the closed-door meetings. That's how I knew that WJFK was going to flip formats before anyone else did.
And remember our motto, Mike.
Open Mike, the banquet book. Thank you. $6.99 now available. Download it instantly on iTunes or at MikeO'MaraShow.com. Without further ado, let's bring him in here, ladies and gentlemen. All the news from the world of entertainment with Oscar Razzi.
Hi, fellas.
Hi.
Yes. We love Skype.
The best.
Skype gets us connected with Mike and guests across the country and around the world, right?
And for people that have bitched about Skype, as we have in the past, you know what? All in all, we're pretty happy with it. We're pretty happy with Skype. It does okay for us.
Janus Friis, one of the co-founders of Skype, who sold Skype for $2.6 billion.
From whence does this person come? Is it a Swede?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
Please.
Yes.
Mama puts the
Danish?
pies out to cool.
No, thank you.
I think it might be Danish. Regardless.
Hey, by the way, can I ask you
yes.
one question based on the promo for the audiobook that we were just doing?
Yeah.
Did you? How early on did you start smelling the blood? I'm going to give us probably Robb from January, and we got booted in July. We kind of just smelled some blood in the water in January. Did you know
same time.
Sooner than
When,
right around the same time?
When Adam's station flipped a year ahead of time, there was 2 other stations that flipped after that.
Yeah.
And then when I saw that they were flipping the station in Philadelphia, I said, we're the last one left. Like, there's no reason why they would just keep us.
I think our last show, if memory serves, our last show was July 2nd.
Okay.
And then there was the holiday. I came in on the 5th. And that's when I knew.
When we started talking more sports,
there was a
July
sports
5th.
station, and I said, "What's all this then?"
Okay. Go ahead. I was interrupting
it's
your
okay.
Oscar Razzi.
So Giannis, the co-founder of Skype, he was engaged to Marie-Louise Johnson, a Danish recording artist. Gorgeous woman. He found out that she was cheating, so he's asking back for his engagement ring he gave her.
Okay.
The engagement ring alone is worth $471,000.
Oh, wow.
This is on top of other gifts he had given her, totaling up to $1 million worth of jewels.
He's got to be like Trump and make sure he doesn't give the women expensive jewelry, because that will give them leverage.
So he's fighting to get those back, and the young lady, Maria Louise Janssen, who's been confirmed of having multiple affairs with multiple men, will not give them back.
Yeah, that little dirty hooah.
Yeah.
Right?
Dirty hooah.
Yeah, that's a stale Danish, Mike.
Just want to drop that quickly. Moving on, Caitlyn Jenner, she's involved in that horrific crash that ended up with the death of an elderly woman that was in front of him, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The car that the elderly woman was driving careened across the highway into a Hummer, and that's how she ended up dying.
So it crossed whatever median was there into oncoming traffic, yeah.
The Hummer and everybody inside the car seemed to be okay because it's a bigger vehicle. Lexus runs into a Hummer. You do the math.
Right.
But unfortunately, the 5 occupants of the Hummer are now suing the deceased estate, and they're going after her because they found. Well, I'm alleging, but it looks like they found out that she was rich, and now they're going after her.
That sucks.
Right?
Scummy move.
I mean, so they're going out to the estate of the
deceased.
They're dealing with a dead relative, and now the people that are left behind have to deal with a lawsuit from some litigious Fs. That sucks.
And they said that they're going to be gunning for Caitlyn Jenner after they're done with this lawsuit.
Classy statement and classy move.
And the lawyers for these guys, they're just such scumbags.
Yeah.
Scumbags.
Now, where would you find a scummy lawyer? That's what surprises me.
Very difficult to find. Very difficult to find.
That gives
Thank
them
you,
leverage,
Rob.
Mike.
That's right. They're the best lawyers in town.
Gentlemen, what's your take on slander and just overall? People have talked S about all of us so many times.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever thought to actually take them to court about it?
I have. There is a particular group that I've given it some thought about. It's online stuff, and it does. I think about it for 5 seconds, and then I say, no, I am a public figure. I have put myself out there so people are able to say what they want about me. And unfortunately, as soon as I bring my little guy even to this room right here and I show him on air, or I talk about my wife on air, they're fair game as well.
True
if you
enough.
put your family out there, that's the way it's supposed to be. Now, if you've got paparazzi that are running around chasing a movie star that don't want their kids to be public, and that to me is wrong, and that to me is actionable, and they should do that. But as far as people talking about you, when you're in a public forum, it does come with the territory. It's not always fun. It kind of sucks, but it does come with the territory. Where I would ever, put a line on that is if it was something that was not only untrue but damaging as well. Then I would consider it. But I don't pay attention to enough of it to know there probably been lies said about me for a very, very long time.
You have to help me out with this, and I'll try to make this as broadcast friendly as possible.
Okie doke.
Brandy Glanville allegedly, Joanna Krupa's from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I take it, right? That's where it's from.
RHOBH.
Brandy Glanville is from the Real Housewives of the Beverly Hills.
Well, apparently she's trying to stave off a defamation lawsuit from Joanna Krupa by forcing Joanna to come clean about her vaginal odor.
Let's call it feminine odor.
Okay, feminine odor.
Yeah.
So
keep taking the high road there, Brandy. So did Brandy do this on her podcast?
Brandy alleged that this woman had a smelly,
extreme feminine odor, Mike, like Natalie Wood.
Yes.
So Joanna is she on the show too?
I don't know where Joanna comes in this.
Who is Joanna Krupa? I don't know who she is.
She's not an RH. She's not a Real Housewife.
She's not a Real Housewife. I figure you would know. To be fair,
let me. While you're doing this, I'm going to look it up. I'm going to see if I. Is it KRUPA?
Yes.
All right.
UPA.
Oh, like
UPA.
the drummer.
Like the drummer, Gene Krupa.
Who also had horrible feminine odors.
Brandy's lawyer has fired a series of written questions with Joanna that Joanna must answer under oath. Notably, is it your contention that the lawsuit that your feminine place is odorless? If yes, please explain.
Oh, she's a very pretty lady. She's not on the RHOB. No,
specifically with your
RHOBH.
place down there, how it's specifically odorless. She needs
This
to answer
is somebody.
that
I
question.
bet this is somebody who banged her husband. I bet this is somebody who banged her ex-husband.
What an
Oh my
extreme
God.
burden of proof to have to provide, though. And
She
and
is.
we'll have,
She's a lovely lady.
There
Wow.
is a lawsuit pending
and they're going
for
to have
defamation.
to go. They're going to have to go back to judges' chambers for that.
I just saw that headline on TMZ and I said, "Whoa!"
Well, I'm looking at a lot of pictures of this Joanna Krupa. I'm only thinking one thing right now. Thinking
What's
about
that?
putting a little
Whoa!
No, I'm thinking about. I was going to
What
say
are
I'm
you
thinking
thinking
about. I'm thinking about putting a little ammonia on my mustache.
Worth the wait.
Oh, God,
Speaking of
that's
hits,
terrible.
Mike, I debut the top 5 from Oscarazzi.
Cool.
Oscarazzi. So this is a music segment we're
yes.
starting now.
These
Very
are the
good.
top 5 songs of the nation according to the Billboard Hot 100.
DJ's Bible.
Ready?
Now, next time we do this, Rob, you're gonna have to remember you got to do. You got to get some jingle in there for this.
Of
Yeah,
course.
Hit after hit after hit after hit.
Yeah, I'll do one. I'll find one for him.
All right,
Let's
very
start
good.
with number 5, The Weeknd with The Hills. You're in the club, Mike, hanging out,
Yeah.
getting a bottle.
I don't like this as much
No?
as Dead Mike.
No
I
more?
like Dead Mike better.
Okay.
Yeah. Good.
Dead Mike.
Number 4, Major Lazer with Lean On.
That's not bad.
Man, I love the bass though. I never get tired of bass. If you like bass, there's a lot of music that appeals to you because that's just got such a nice thundering bass. That would sound good at the club with Dead Mike.
At number 3, Siliento with Watch Me.
And watch me, nay.
This is everywhere.
By the way, if you want to hear my club mix on the bonus show this week, lots of club DJing in the bonus
A
show,
lot
so
of
please check
nay-nays.
it out.
Yeah, watch him whip, watch him nay.
I'm not. I don't like that one. I don't like it. That's not my cup of tea.
Let's go to
Thanks.
number 2, The Weeknd again with Can't Feel My Face.
I'm with you.
Is that? Are they making drug references? Is that what they're
I
talking
think
about?
they are alluding to being so excited with the person that their face is numb.
I think they're alluding to the fact they can't feel their face because they were with the plaintiff in that Brandy Glanville lawsuit.
That's it. I remember from my young days, though, when I was, when I was sparking, when I was courting different women, and I would get numb face when I'd be excited to be with a woman, and I would just go.
At number 1,
Yes, number
with a bullet, it's Omni with Cheerleader.
God, the auto tune is just so overdone.
Catchy
now,
song,
you know? It is catchy, but it's like I'm tired of auto tune. I don't like it. I sound like an old fart. I can't help. There's no way I'm gonna have a discussion about music without going. I don't like that auto tune.
Next week, Mike, I'll try to find a Tom Jones record on the charts for you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it, Rob.
That is Oscarazzi for this week.
Very good. Thank you, Oscar. We'll take a break. Come back with the final audio vault of the week. This is the Mike O'Mara Show. Whoa, whoa.
It's Tony and Gary.
Hey there, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Tony Perkins.
I'm Gary Stein.
On next week's episode of the show, comedian George Wallace.
I love George Wallace.
He is one of my favorites of all time.
You're one of his.
He's funny, and he's very inspirational.
He is. I'm inspired now.
It doesn't sound like it. Plus, we're going to be on TV.
I can't wait.
It's all on the Tony Perkins Show. Download the new Tony Perkins Show app.
The Tony Perkins Show.
Hey, Mike.
Yes, Rob.
What's the best 10 o'clock show on the strip?
Boy, that would have been a get we would have loved. Maybe not.
No.
Anyway, the TMOS bonus package is available for you right now. Please, sir, could I have some more? Yes, you can. If 5 episodes a week aren't satisfying your TMOS cravings. I got a great letter from a guy today that buys all the bonus content, was asking us for more. Said it's not quite enough. Talked about the fact that he stockpiled on his very honeymoon and that he was listening to many episodes of the Mike O'Mara Show, including our bonus packages, and his wife, his brand new bride, leaned over to him and said, "How many of those do you have?" And he turned to her, and the only answer he gave her was, "Plenty." Join the other addicts who have decided to do something about it by taking the first step and subscribing to the 2015 TMOS bonus show package. You get full access to all of the content, on-demand video, 25% savings, a great way to support your favorite podcast, waiting for you at MikeO'MaraShow.com. Just click the banner marked TMOS bonus packages. The TMOS bonus package will make the shaking stop. Let's open up the audio vault for Friday, August 28, 2015. Rob Spiewak.
Mike, remember when you called me last night and you said, Rob, Don, what would it be like if The Sopranos was a sitcom? And,
yes, I said that to you.
And
yes,
I said,
remember that.
let me look
vividly.
around and see if I can figure it out. And here is The Sopranos reimagined as a situation comedy.
Thank you for holding. Your call is important to us. It's so important you answer the phone. Just a level of bull. No idea they come up with. It's supposed to make things better, make things worse.
It's actually a 12-minute version of The Sopranos cut to be like a sitcom with
That's
a laugh
funny.
track, and you need to see it. It's on our Facebook page. Watch it.
Who
It's
are
worth-
these people?
It's absolutely worth it. Mike, I was surprised to find out only 58. Daryl Dawkins passed away, died of a heart attack, and he was perhaps best known for in the 1979 season shattering 2 glass backboards in the NBA. I think he was with the 76ers then, and he did one on the road.
Huge man.
Yes.
Not just tall, but just thick, too. Really out of the Shaquille O'Neal mode. Kind of a very heavy, strong guy. Not only tall, but big.
He's the reason that it is now against the rules and a finable offense to shatter a backboard, and also the reason they invented breakaway rooms.
Breakaway.
But anyway, here's NBA players, including Daryl Dawkins, discussing the first time he broke an NBA backboard.
It was such a sight because the glass went everywhere, and Robinzine was under the basket, and he was trying to get out of the way. He was running, and Daryl was in shock.
First thing I was thinking is, oh man, I got to get out of here. All this glass is coming down. I was like, geez, don't fail me now.
I remember that was pretty scary because, I mean, even when you see that in slow motion, I mean, you see all this glass just coming down. That was very dangerous.
It's an amazing sight. So safe home, Daryl Dawkins. 58 is way too young. Donald Trump. That's right. The man who wants a deal.
We want deal.
Had a couple great. He was speaking in South Carolina yesterday. He said a couple things. My favorite is what I'll lead with. How's he going to run our nation? You can't really say if he wins, but he did refer to it as not a country, but a company.
We are going to make this company. We are going to make this. What? We are going to make this country so strong.
This company.
Also, did you know that he has a new nickname among the Spanish-speaking community?
El Diablo?
Ricardo Sanchez, known as El Mandril, on his Spanish drive-time radio show in Los Angeles, has taken to calling Donald J. Trump El Hombre del Peliquin. In other words, the man of the toupee.
The man of the toupee. He did have a lady come up and inspect his hair.
Oh, he's got plugs, right?
Yeah, and it's long. I think if you were to brush his hair out, it would be like Cher.
He took a hat off last week. He took a hat off, the red hat, and at one point he was fidgeting with it the whole time, like it was bothering him, like it was uncomfortable. And he took his hat off, and he pulled his hair back. And I mean, everybody said they freeze framed it, and you saw the hair was going into the head.
Yeah.
So I mean, whatever it is, it might be plugs, but
The guy's got $1 zillion. You don't think he has the best of the best, though.
Yeah.
You wish he would have had his hair. His hair reminds me of a My Little Pony doll tail.
Yeah, it just flips over the top.
It's too shiny.
It's also not a color found in nature. No, it's very peculiar. But anyway, we wish him the best, I suppose. Taylor Swift is doing a series of concerts at the Staples Center in Los Angeles, and one thing that's been cool is every night she's had some pretty big name guest stars coming out. I think Selena Gomez did a night. Didn't Justin Timberlake do a song? Alanis Morissette did a song. This one I pulled for Oscar. Her guest last night was Lisa Kudrow from Friends, and they said this is Wednesday night. They sang Smelly Cat.
That's awesome.
Smelly Cat.
So when you go to a Taylor Swift show, you never know what you're going to hear. It's always a surprise.
Uh-oh.
Somebody's calling, Rob.
Oh, Mike, there's a call. Did you want to answer it?
I guess so. Let's pick up the phone, see who's on the line. Hello?
Good evening. This is Wade Byard, the Public Information Officer for Latin Public Schools.
He's back!
With greetings from School Nutrition Services.
Hey!
We are excited to announce that beginning this school year, you can apply for free and reduced price meals online. If you have questions or require assistance, please email us at cafe@lcps.org.
He sounds excited, doesn't he?
Wade is always a dynamic speaker.
It's always great when I get that call.
Very exciting.
There's been questions back and forth. CJ, Caitlyn Jenner, Now that the transformation has begun, will Caitlyn want to date a man or a woman?
Good question.
Apparently, CJ addresses it on the upcoming episode of I Am Kate, and here is an exclusive clip that they're doing as a preview.
It would be very attractive to me to have a guy treat me like a woman.
What does that mean?
I'll do the math.
That you would be treated like a normal woman, okay?
What do you mean a normal woman?
Like any other woman on the street, and not make it this big trans thing or this or that, just a normal relationship.
So you know what, Caitlyn Jenner, you are a normal woman right now, today. You don't need a man to make you a woman.
So I guess we know the answer there.
Yeah,
he wants to be a woman and date a man.
Right.
Oh, I thought. See, in the last episode, I thought he wanted to date women. She
right
wanted to date women, and because one of her friends was like, "If you're a lesbian, you're a lesbian, right?"
She wants to date a man, and I think we all know who the man is.
Good evening. This is Wade Byers, the Public Information Officer for Lab
Whenever
Schools.
do you guys feel like I do when we're on this subject, that when we're on this subject, we're like going into one of those Mission Impossible scenarios
can I
where
say
they've got
something?
the lasers crossing the floor,
Don't
and
touch that floor.
we have to
At
tread so
least
carefully.
we're talking about it.
Strings, yeah.
At least we're talking about it. There
Yeah.
are radio shows across the country that won't even touch this.
You're right.
'Cause they're
All
terrified of
They're
it, right?
terrified.
They're
So we're
terrified of
doing
it.
the best we can. So back the fuck off.
There's another edit for you there, Pony. There you go. Thank
Pony
you.
will
Very
be home
good.
by Saturday night. And,
Absolutely.
Is that fair,
Thank you.
though?
That is
That's
fair.
perfectly fair. Yes,
It is.
yes,
All right.
absolutely.
You ever wonder, Mike, what the
I'm
most...
not going to get you any more mad than you already are.
Yeah.
I don't know that you can. His Bolivian head would buzz clean open.
He's just, look at him brooding over there.
Well, you know, he's a child of the 90s. He's like a Seattle guy. He's grunge. He'll get a flannel shirt. Most popular girls' names, Mike.
Right now in the U.S., the most popular name for baby girls is Emma. Yeah. Emma, yeah. And the least popular names are Ashley and Madison.
That is your Magic Audio Ball. Have a great weekend, everybody. Did you want to close with Captain Chesapeake?
That's right. Okay, do you
very
have
good.
it?
I do, right here.
That's it. Another Mike O'Mara show has come and gone. Thank you for the groan, Pony. Be sure and join us again. Is that a groan for the music or the fact that you have to make like 500 edits?
Oh,
in the
it's
show
everything.
today?
It's everything.
Thank you. Be sure and join us again for more fucking fun and more thrills at MikeO'MaraShow.com. If you want to correspond with the show with a letter or package, send it to TMOS Box 2796, Leesburg, Virginia 20177. To get your message or birthday request into the Wednesday mailbag, email Rob with 2 B's at MikeO'MaraShow.com. The Mike O'Mara Show relies on your word of mouth. Tell a friend or family member about TMOS and make sure they get it too. For Captain Chesapeake, Rob Spiewak, and Oscar Santana, this is Mike O'Mara inviting you to join us again for another episode of The Mike O'Mara Show. Goodbye.
So long.
Ciao, ciao.
Wait, don't go. I need to tell you that MikeO'MaraShow.com/Amazon is perfect for all your online shopping needs. Shop the best way. Shop Amazon. And please go through our website, always open at MikeO'MaraShow.com/Amazon.
Open mic. The banquet book.
Hey!
Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment.